Tired of overpaying for the little blue pill? What if you could get the exact same results for just a fraction of the price, guaranteed? Well, now you can with sildenafil, the active ingredient in the blue pill. With 20 milligram generic sildenafil tablets, you get the exact same results for less than $2 per pill, and again, the results are guaranteed. That's right, absolutely guaranteed results for a fraction of the cost of the little blue pill. So give your wallet a break and call us toll-free at 800-365-6017 to get your generic sildenafil delivered discreetly to your door. And of course, while saving hundreds of dollars, you'll also be saving time by saying goodbye to those long, embarrassing pharmacy lines once and for all. Again, just call 800-365-6017 and get your generic sildenafil with a 100% money-back guarantee. Getting your pills doesn't get any easier or cheaper than this, so call 800-365-6017 now.
Well, it may not be the big Friday you all want, but it is
Little Friday.
It's the next best thing. It is Daybreak USA with Rod and Ray and Captain Chris. Glad that you are there. We are here. We're all together on this 18th day of July, 2019.
Summertime.
Look at all those smiling faces. Just a little upturned smile, knowing that tomorrow is just
Friday.
Beyond our reach.
Yes.
The light at the end of the tunnel is not an oncoming train.
Well, we hope not.
Well, my ship finally came in and there's a dock worker strike.
That's
pretty unlucky,
yeah.
yeah.
That's how it goes. Yes.
It may be unlucky, but not as unlucky as El Chapo Guzman.
Oh, I have not heard what they... yesterday was a sentencing.
Yesterday was a sentencing. This is a tough one to do. Even when you're a superstar like El Chapo, with pretty young girlfriends, billions of dollars, and you receive a sentence. Life in prison plus 30 years.
Ooh.
Which means that jail's going to stink pretty darn bad by the time that he's finally out of there. What does that smell? El Chapo? I don't know what El Chapo means in Spanish. Well, it means the chap, but nevertheless, what does that smell? It's El Chapo.
The chap? Is
yeah.
that what that means?
Yeah.
Okay.
Also,
an interesting chap, yes.
Finally, yesterday, the Senate got around to pass the 9/11 bill. Only one problem. There was no funding attached to it.
Wow.
Boy, oh boy.
All the self-righteous statements we hear and
the condolences.
And yes, these are our problems.
Keep your condolences. Give me the money for my chemotherapy. Yeah.
What's that say about you?
And thirdly, if those two aren't enough, they are asking for the resignation of the governor of Puerto Rico, the 51st state. They're very patient.
When you say they who? The
people of Puerto Rico, yeah. And they are asking for it loud and clear. And if you have ever spent any time on the back streets of Puerto Rico, San Juan, a very nice modern city, and the rest of it, unfortunately, a toilet. And I don't blame them. I think that it is more than time for the people to rise up and put their foot down and say, enough is too much.
Is this
still
in the
about
handling of the...
it's just everything.
hurricane.
He just didn't do his job properly. And so we will see a change there. I don't know that the man can hold on to his office under such turmoil. It's a unique situation anyway, because you're kind of a citizen of the United States, but you're kind of a citizen of the United States without any representation. But you're taxed. What about that saying? Taxation without representation. Wasn't that one of the founding statements of this country?
Yes, that was what prompted the Tea Party.
They pay a federal income tax.
The real Tea Party.
We print their money.
Yeah.
They have no senators. They have no members of the House of Representatives.
It's very interesting.
So I don't blame them for being upset. We will see this. The accusations continue to go back and forth. That gets kind of boring. And as a matter of fact, we'll hear some opinion of that as the day progresses. And also we'll hear some talk from some interesting people, including our friend Scaramouche. Scaramouche, can you sing the fandango?
Oh, our favorite Klingon.
Galileo, 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 Galileo.
Well, that was a good attempt.
You know what? I don't think he's going to make it as president. I might have overestimated this.
Scaramouche? No,
his numbers are shrinking. But don't worry, the tall guy will be there. He just accepted his invitation to the debate. Rod and Ray are on the radio, and
Good morning.
This is
Daybreak, U.S.
It is a horrible scenario, but it happens. Dennis writes about his wife. She was diagnosed with leukemia. In fact, she's a 2-time survivor. And in the midst of all that, they ran up over $1 million in medical bills. Thankfully, they're MediShare members. And Dennis says they are so thankful for that, how others came together to meet their needs. And that's how so many MediShare members feel. This is not health insurance. It's different. You don't have to pay for things you don't believe in. And like Dennis found out, it just works. So if you join MediShare, not only do you save a lot of money, the typical family saves about $500 a month, but you know where your money's going each month. You're helping people, and if the time should come, they'll be helping and even praying for you. So yes, it's different, and as more than 400,000 people now know when it comes to healthcare costs, different is beautiful. Find out more. Call 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
There's no question you need omega-3s. But which form should you take? Fish oil or krill oil? Scientists have debated this for years. Luckily, there's a new solution to satisfy everyone. It's called Krill Omega 50 Plus. It combines ultra-pure fish oil and joint-soothing krill oil together in just one tiny pill. It's so powerful, it can promote the health of your heart and your arteries. And if that wasn't enough, it can also boost your joint comfort in just days. We're so sure Krill Omega 50 Plus will work for you. We'll even send you a free bottle to put to the test. The debate is over. It's not fish oil or krill oil. It's both. And now it's free. Just pay $4.95 for shipping and claim your free bottle. Call now. 1-800-399-6392. 1-800-399-6392. That's 1-800-399-6392.
Texting enrolls you in recurring automated text messages. Message and data rates may apply.
Hi, I'm Frank Thomas, the Big Hurt. After I left baseball, I just couldn't stay in shape like I used to. Turns out, once you hit 40, your body has less free testosterone, and that can make it harder to get into shape. So I got back into the game with Nugenics. I'm feeling stronger with a lot more energy and drive. You want to get back into shape? Get Nugenics. All you have to do is send one simple text.
Frank's right. Just text FORCE to 321-321 to get a complimentary bottle of award-winning Nugenics, the #1 selling free testosterone booster at GNC. Its unique man-boosting formula is powered by Testofen, a patented key ingredient clinically researched to help a man feel stronger, leaner, more energetic, and more passionate.
And guys, she'll like the difference too.
Nugenics samples are not available in stores. To get your complimentary bottle, text FORCE to 321321. That's FORCE to 321321.
Welcome back to Daybreak USA with Rod and Ray, and now it's time for this week's edition of AM. What's up, little brother?
If you remember, Rod, we'd get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to watch the Mercury and Gemini rockets blast into the cosmos. I mean, I don't remember Mercury too well, but I do remember Gemini, particularly Ed White's first spacewalk. In so many ways, the 1960s were a killer time for a little boy to grow up. Interestingly, the very first song played on a space mission, oddly enough, was by astronaut Wally Schirra, who, as they were descending into the Earth's orbit, played jingle bells on a harmonica he'd snuck aboard the spacecraft. So began a long history of music in space that continues today. A good friend of ours at AM, Andrew McMahon, the catalyst behind Something Corporate and Jack's Mannequin, and despite being nominated for an Emmy and establishing one of rock's most important charities, the Dear Jack Foundation, which supports leukemia research, told us that his most memorable moment as an artist was when Houston played the Something Corporate song, The Astronaut, on the International Space Station in 2006. By the end of the 1960s, our culture was immersed in the space race. Movies like 2001 showed us that in the next century we'd board a Pan Am shuttle and stay at the Howard Johnsons on a space station orbiting Earth. Indeed, the music that accompanied the space opera 2001 renewed the popularity of classical music, and for the most part, Houston Control's selections for the Gemini project were classically oriented, including Schumann's Symphony No. 3 and Puccini's La Boheme. The off-Broadway production The Fantastics was the source for Houston's OST selection Try to Remember, and next up was the theme song from Lawrence of Arabia. Wake-up calls for the astronauts from Houston Control have over the years included David Bowie's Space Oddity, ELO's Mr. Blue Sky, the Archies' Sugar Sugar, Elvis Presley's Suspicious Minds, and Dusty Springfield's Son of a Preacher Man. Interestingly, in our digital age, the astronauts themselves have downloaded music while in space, including Pink Floyd and Lou Reed's Satellite of Love. And how about this? Astronaut flautist Katie Coleman played a duet with Jethro Tull's Ian Anderson in a live video link, and in 2013, Commander Chris Hadfield made the first ever rock video in space, floating around the capsule with David Bowie's Space Oddity in the background. Bowie himself was able to circumvent the earthly copyright restrictions and subsequently called it the most poignant version of the song ever created. My favorite wake-up call, though, was a live performance from REM's Michael Stipe singing Man on the Moon a cappella. As we approach the 50th anniversary of Apollo 11 and that incredible day when man first set foot on the moon, I thought I'd share some of the tunes that Neil Armstrong, Buzz Aldrin, and Michael Collins requested that Houston Control play as they ventured 238,000 miles away from the Earth. Among the songs were Frank Sinatra's Fly Me to the Moon, Galveston by Glenn Campbell, People by Barbra Streisand, and most significantly, Jonathan King's Everyone's Gone to the Moon. And by the way, equally spacey, the #1 hit in July 1969 while man first stepped on the moon was Yeager and Evans in the year 2525.
And that's this week's edition of AM. Thanks, Rick. Read more on the AM website at www.10-am.blogspot.com and read Rick's novels, Jay and the Americans, and his latest, Miles from Nowhere, both available on Amazon and for your Kindle, or get a personally autographed copy at the AM website. This is Daybreak USA with Rod and Ray.
Hi, this is Wayne Allaruth, the capitalist evangelist. I'm here to introduce you to a special company with the potential to be one of the great all-American stories. Fortum Resources is a publicly traded, diversified natural resource company with oil, gas, and mining properties in North America and internationally. Fortum is led by Chairman Mark Bruner, the legendary oil man who built Ultra Petroleum from a 15-cent stock to $200 per share, creating $15 billion in shareholder profits. Mark has 30 years of experience in the oil and gas industry, overseeing contracts with Halliburton, ExxonMobil, and Hess. Fortum has over 350,000 acres of oil and gas resources, and more than half the acreage has been evaluated by world-renowned auditors Deloitte Touche. Fortum also owns the rights to the 180 square mile City of Gold mining property. Fortum is traded on 2 global exchanges, U.S. ticker symbol FTMR. Repeat, FTMR. This is a rare ground floor opportunity to capitalize on a proven energy industry legend. Please visit FortumResources.com. That's Fortum, F-O-R-T-E-M, resources.com.
Have you written a book and want to get it published? Then call Page Publishing at 800-605-6995 immediately. That's 800-605-6995. Page Publishing is looking for authors of all types of books. And unlike most publishers, Page Publishing will take the time to review each and every book submitted to them and give you their feedback. If they like what they read, they'll get your book into bookstores and for sale online at Amazon, the Apple iTunes Store, Barnes & Noble, and other outlets. They handle everything: editing, cover design, copyright protection, printing, publicity, and distribution. So if you've written a novel, children's book, cookbook, inspirational work, poetry, or a biography and want to get it published, then you need to call Page Publishing and do it immediately. Call 800-605-6995 now for your free author submission kit. Again, for your free author submission kit, call 800-605-6995. That's 800-605-6995. Your road to fame and fortune could very well start with this simple phone call. Call Page Publishing at 800-605-6995 for your free author submission kit.
Got an old car? You can donate it, whether it's running or not, to the United Breast Cancer Foundation and save a life. They'll even come and pick it up for free. The United Breast Cancer Foundation has saved hundreds of women's lives through their free or low-cost breast screen exams. But now they need your help. The United Breast Cancer Foundation wants to save more lives through early detection by offering women free or low-cost breast screening exams. And donating your old car, SUV, or truck, whether it's running or not, helps pay for them. Plus, you get a charitable tax deduction. Help the United Breast Cancer Foundation save lives by donating your old car, SUV, or truck. Call now for free pickup. 800-280-2144. 800-280-2144. 800-280-2144. Call right now. That number again is 800-280-2144.
Okay. Well, nice to have you here. A good time will be had by all.
Promise? Do you promise?
I do, yes.
All right.
And we'll start it off with a little flashback.
Oh.
We take you back now to when it was the Republican clown car, when there were 17 Republicans on the stage.
Yes.
And from 3 years ago, here is President Donald J. Trump.
Donald, you can't do that. Oh, yeah, well, you're a duty head. You're the stupidest stupid face I've ever seen in my entire life. And I've seen a lot of stupid people. Listen, the reason I'm beating everybody, I don't even have to look at anything. I can close my eyes, and I'm actually seeing myself. It's an out-of-body experience where I'm actually inside my body twice. And it sounds weird, but it's actually happening right now. I can tell, by the way, I'm not even going to have a sidekick. That's what I call the vice president, as a sidekick. I'm not going to have a sidekick. I'm just going to have a puppet hand, and it's going to be me. It's going to be puppet Donald Trump. It'll be tremendous, and we'll be talking to each other.
That's it. From 3 years ago today.
He had a lot of pep in his step.
Okay, ladies and jelly beans, just having a little fun with you. That was not President Donald J. Trump. That was Frank Caliendo, and doing his impersonation of Donald Trump. He went on to do, what if Trump had decided to become a priest instead of the president?
Oh, I think poor Chris might have. That might have been just too much.
I'll just
for
say
him.
it this way: he had a drive-through confessional. It works. Why spend a lot of time?
And something about replacing the Hail Mary, and your penance would be
Okay,
say.
if you don't.
Oh, go ahead, go. No, I
you
won't do it.
You don't remember it, so
I
what
do. I do.
Okay,
Yes.
we'll leave it right there. So anyhow, thank you to Frank Caliendo. What a great impersonator he is. Him and his Madden is so spot on. I thought it was very savvy of Fox. That was actually done, believe it or not, folks, on a show called Fox and Friends.
I've heard of that show.
I don't know if they were taking the world seriously at that time. I don't know.
Well, I think they thought they were.
Have you seen any of this show about Roger Ailes?
No, I have not.
I haven't either. It's on HBO.
I've read a lot about him, but I haven't.
Oh, it's Showtime. It's a series on him, and
yeah, no thanks. I read all the news stuff.
Have you seen any of those, Chris?
Right. Well, no, and I'm about to start watching them, but it's getting great reviews across the spectrum.
Yeah, it really is.
Oh,
Is it?
yeah.
Okay.
I mean, Russell
And who's
Crowe,
the
you
guy?
can't recognize him, but he's
Yeah.
playing Ailes really well. I've met Roger Ailes twice, and I have to say, it fooled me. I was like, whoa.
Really? I like Russell Crowe. He's
how
crazy.
much weight did Russell Crowe gain to do that part?
Actually, everything I've read has just been all costume. You know, I mean.
Yeah.
Fat
suit, yeah.
Yeah, fat suit. Probably had to put on 10, 15 to really sell it. But, had to grow, they did great makeup work on it. So.
They did. It looks like an interesting show. It looks like the perfect show for binge watching.
Yes.
If you got nothing to do on your day off and you say,
it's a rainy day,
I'm
nothing
just
to
gonna
do.
watch this, yeah.
TV day. Yeah.
Pretty enthralling, pretty interesting. I run Fox News. Simple as that.
Oh. Yes, and I will tell you what your opinions will be.
You know, and it's funny because I met his boss, Rupert Murdoch, twice in the early 80s when he was trying to take over Fox, and was unsuccessful at the time because of some smart thinking of some people in the company that I worked for, because he was not yet an American citizen. And of course, if you are not an American citizen, you cannot own a broadcast company.
Right.
So
how did they ever get around that?
They didn't. He became a citizen.
Okay.
Yeah. I was working for Chris Craft Industries.
Boy, that was.
And we had 5
while
TV
ago.
stations, 1981. And Seth Abraham, who is now the director of sports for HBO, at that time was the VP and general manager of everything. And he called Chris Craft down there in Houston, Texas, because Chris Craft was the voice of NASA Control at the time still, and said, what we would like to do is swap you 20% of HBO stock for 20% of Chris Craft Industries stocks. And then, because you're in the broadcast industry and you're licensed broadcasters, he can't do a hostile takeover of your company, because your company is our company, and he can't legally own a TV or a radio station. And of course, we did that. Our stock went from $8 a share to $28 a share. And it was in the day when HBO had the big pay-per-views, WrestleMania, and
81.
Homes
Yes,
and
HBO is
Sphinx
HBO is still
it's
very
a major
very
factor.
watchable. Yes.
Has more Emmy nominations than all other networks. So the work was solid, but that's how we got around it. And then 6 years later, he became a citizen, and he bought 20th Century Fox, and was able to do that, and then bought the New York Post and all those
Gotcha.
kind of things. So it was a nice end around, and it worked for a while, but not for very long.
Well, look at the way he
had
behaved.
he had some great ideas. Let's face it.
He just couldn't keep his hands to himself.
Not Rudolph from Rudolph.
A-Hills?
No, we're not talking about him. Thanks for listening. Rod and Ray on
Daybreak USA.